Hello, this is Lady Ninja, and welcome to my personal review of the newly released Devil May Cry. Most of you will agree with what I say, most of you will not, but that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. This is a new reboot to the original Devil May Cry. I can't even remember when the old one was released. I think it was 2001 or a little bit earlier than that. And it was created by Capcom. And if you're a fan to the old Devil May Cry franchise, you will see notable differences to Dante as well as the story. This reboot was created by Ninja Theory, who also created Heavenly Sword, and it seems like they have taken their own spin on this series. The new Dante has new hairstyle, sort of like a mohawk, that was mostly worn by, I think, the males in the 80s and 90s. And I think probably still today, because a lot of people call them Justin Bieber reject or something like that. I've also read that they called him a twink or something like that, that he looks gay. I don't see anything bad with the haircut. I personally like it, but I guess many of the old fans got used to his old long white hair. A lot of people pointed out that this new Dante has a new attitude that they didn't like, that he was sort of douchebaggy and a little too cocky. And from what I remember, the old Dante wasn't that much different. He was a little cocky, maybe even a little bit more cocky than this Dante. And who wouldn't be cocky if you're getting stabbed by demons, and you can basically heal pretty fast, and you basically can't die. In this reboot, he has sort of like a trust issues and abandonment issues, and because he probably had to run in with demons all his life, and he probably didn't know why. Another thing older fans will notice is that there is a change to the story, especially with Dante's mother. She's no longer human, but an angel. In this one, Sparta the demon and Eva the angel bear twin sons who were both angel and demon hybrids called Nephilim. And there I go into religion, and for those who probably read the Bible, they also mention Nephilims in there, but these were a mix of angels and humans. It says the angels were the sons of God, and they basically had sex with human females, the daughters of man, and created Nephilim. But I'm really not gonna get into all that. But if you want to run the same thing like demon and human, I don't know if they would be considered Nephilim, but that basically sounds like it's the same thing. And again, if you want to look into that, you can look for information online, and I'll just leave that there. A lot of people dislike the new change because they think Dante loses his human qualities and why he protects humans from demons. But as I played the game, I didn't really see that he lost that quality at all. Well, he grew up thinking he was human until, his past was revealed by his brother Virgil, that he's angel and demon. But it's noticeable that he cares for humans, especially for the female cat character, when Virgil didn't really care about her in that mission Under Siege. And at the end, when he takes a stand against his brother Virgil to protect them. And the way I see it, Virgil doesn't think humans as equal to him, but Dante sees them more equal to him, even though he's, half angel, half demon. And I hope you understand what I'm getting at in that part. The story also deals with today's issues, like with the media, especially the news, and about the control it has on a massive level, and how people are basically controlled what they see, what to think, what to eat, basically being told what to do and basically what to believe, and about those in power who like to have control over people. And in the game, it's basically wanting them to be freed from that. Well, that's what I got, or basically freed from demonic control or just real life control, depending on how you want to take it. That's the way I see it. Everybody has their different take on the story. If you have another way of thinking, please let me know in the comments what you think or what you got out of the story in some parts of the story. I would like to hear thoughts on that. I personally like the new story besides, the agenda thing, and it gives you a little bit more depth why Virgil and Dante fight, like if they're arch enemies, and why Dante becomes a demon hunter or the protector of humans. Basically, it's a new twist, but with the same result. Now I'm going to discuss some of the pros and cons of the game, what I didn't like, what I liked. And if you notice anything else, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. One was the story. I like the change in the story and explains why Dante is the way he is, how he became a demon hunter and a human protector, and the reason why him and Virgil fight. I also like the combos, the battling and the combos. You can basically do endless combos by mixing and matching the weapons. And I noticed that I could have gotten a samurai DLC download. It was on my ticket and I didn't redeem it because the person in GameStop said do not redeem the code on this ticket until February 1st. But something told me look at the ticket and there was free DLC that I could have used while playing the game. And I was kind of pissed off that he didn't tell me exactly which ones I can use and which ones I couldn't use, but you know, it's too late already. And right here in this footage you can probably see the, you know, the weapons. I also like the awesome soundtrack in this game. The bonus soundtrack was created by Noisia. The songs that I really liked in there was the Hunter, the Succubus song, Lilith, and the Mundus song. And those are the ones I mostly, you know, play repeatedly. The other ones are pretty short and, you know, they sound pretty good. And there's also songs in there. I mean, there's some songs that aren't in there that I want to find. And at the end of the game, you notice, you know, the recording artists and, you know, where you can get them from. So I'm going to try to see if I can look for those too. I also like the designs of the bosses, and it seems like each of them had their own weaknesses and you just had to kind of find them. I noticed in the Bob Barbas fight when he does the light rays on the floor, I hit the, unknowingly I hit the green one and it kind of shut him down for a bit. So then I was able to hit the, I could have hit the, you know, the red parts that actually shut him down for you to, you know, actually beat on him. But I didn't really do it. I only noticed after I replayed, and when I first played the Succubus before I, you know, was interrupted by the knock on the door, and you know, I had to replay it. I noticed I deflected her hand back, and I think it left an opening for me to grab her mouth, and I was able to, you know, do a little bit more, basically ass kicking to take more life away. And this kind of helps if you're playing in the hard difficulties and you want to defeat the bosses pretty fast, you know, to get the good scores. And if you don't want to get hit, because sometimes these bosses hit pretty hard. And you know, in the old, not in the old, in the, you know, the harder difficulties, you know, they hit pretty hard. Basically just KO you with one hit. I also like the idea where you get dragged into limbo. You know, limbo is basically the edge of hell where lost souls wander. And in this game, that's where the demons wander. And the demons are able to pull Dante in. And Dante has to defeat them to get out of it. But he can also go in there voluntarily with the help of Cat through rifts, which was pretty cool. And I think that added a little more depth to the angel and demon story. That was pretty cool. Those are the things that I pretty much liked about the game. There's probably more that I'm not mentioning, and you'll probably mention some of your own in the comment section. And I'll probably write back or reply saying what else I liked about the game. And now comes the part where I noticed some of the things in the game that I didn't like, or, you know, a little mess ups and all that stuff. But pretty much I enjoyed the game. And this one, it doesn't have the ability for you to lock onto enemies. I remember Devil May Cry 4, you can lock onto enemies. But in the old Devil May Cry, you had a set camera, which kind of was hard for you to see the enemies that were off camera. And they can, you know, if they were throwing projectiles, you wouldn't see it. And it would hit you. In this one, you have the ability to spin the camera around how you wish. And you pretty much have to do it pretty fast because sometimes the enemies will roll off camera or run off camera or spawn off camera, depending off, you know, where you have the camera positioned. In some parts you notice some minor audio skips, or sometimes the audio doesn't load at all until you restart the chapter or mission. And I also noticed some texture rendering during cutscenes where some of the textures didn't render immediately when, you know, the game started. And I also noticed some freeze and lags in the score screen. At one time I thought my system froze, but I don't know why they did that to the PS3 version. The Xbox and PS3 don't have much of this problem, but that was pretty bad what they did there. If you're gonna make a game, you know, multi-platform game, why not put out the best on all, you know, consoles or PC? For now, those are all the cons that I can remember in the game, but if you would like to discuss, you know, some of the things that you noticed in the game, you know, that broke the game, that you noticed that was wrong in the game, please leave a comment in the comment section, and probably I'll remember that, or probably I didn't see that, but please leave a comment. Basically, this is my personal thoughts on the game. I'm not doing this professionally. I'm just saying what I think, you know, about the game. And if people were to ask me, should I pick up this game? Well, if you're new to the Devil May Cry franchise, then I would probably think you would like the new Dante. And if you haven't played the old Devil May Cry, and if you're an old fan, some of us hate him, some of us love him, some of us, you know, got used to change. I personally like the new Dante, like I said before, and I don't see anything wrong. And I'm gonna end the review here, and I know I'm probably missing a few things, but I'm sure you'll probably let me know in the comments, and I would like to hear from you. And I hope you enjoyed this review, and thanks for watching.
Game over.